Realms of Peril and Glory will begin after these short messages.
We'd like to thank our patrons, Peter Griffith, Zeus Legion, and Michael Kubiak, for their support in making this series possible. If you'd like to join them and get ad-free listening, exclusive shows, and even more, then head on over to patreon.com/lightandtragic. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Realms of Peril and Glory. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Zachary Fortais-Gomm, and I am your game master in residence today. Joining me is James Barbarossa.
Hello, I am everyone.
Playing with us is Pip Gladwin.
Bless my jug dog priest. It's me, Pip Gladwin. I will be... Do you need me to stop saying that every time?
Three
I'll
in a row.
start saying it. If Torbrennan stops saying it, I'm going to start saying it.
Yeah.
And who are you playing, bless your jug dog priest?
I will be playing Torbrennan, the 3rd level dwarf paladin and former Blade of Valorous.
Heartbreaking stuff.
Oh my
Of course, also here is Laura Gerling.
Bless my dog jug priest. I'm Laura Gerling.
Wait,
No!
no.
It's all gone off the rails.
Perfect formula has been ruined.
Who are you playing?
I'll be playing level 3 High Elf Bard Maerydyth Wimver.
Yes. And then, of course, we have Maddy Searle.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Maddy Searle, and I'm playing Isadora Ravenwood, the half-dark elf necromancer, and I apologize to every single member of the North of America.
And finally, Jesus.
The chaos, like the disruption from last episode has thrown everything into chaos.
And it's a whole week later.
See, Zach, this is what happens when you want to jump straight in, okay?
Yeah.
We need to get our sillies out.
And, of course...
Sounds like a perfect idea to me. Let's go.
No, it's great. And of course, we are also here with Elizabeth Campbell.
Hello, I am playing Eternal Professional Disappointment Zongroff Growlshack.
Oh, gosh.
Gosh, very nice.
Orc Rogue, of course, for those who are wondering. Although, why are you listening to this and you don't know at this point? Okay, so like always, we're playing a game called 13th Age, which is a D20 TTRPG designed by Rob Heinzu, who's the lead designer on D&D 4th edition, and Jonathan Tweet, who was one of the designers on D&D 3rd edition. The game is published by Pelgrane Press, and of course there's a link in the description if you want to check it out yourself. You guys ready to jump into this miles-long recap?
Clearly not.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Clear my schedule, Barbara.
Dog Priest, get in here. We need you.
I assume I'm Barbara.
I mean, you're everyone, so...
Yeah.
I am everyone, so I'll
Yeah.
clear your schedule for you, shall I?
Thanks, babe.
Last time, our characters made several world-shaking discoveries. First, Maerydyth discovered the key to crack the cipher within Tavin's notebook and began to decode. In doing so, she discovered that in service of his superior, Felicity, he placed in a fake death certificate and swapped out a real birth certificate for a fake one. But you know not whose. In an old text about New Harbor, Zongroff discovered that villagers who founded the city after the Undying War were apparently guarding something. Isadora discovered a ritual that would allow the party to connect their minds to the twine, the very fabric of the universe that would allow them to commune with their visions. Speaking of visions, Torbrennan discovered a complete and whole copy of the Ways of Valor, and discovered that this ancient text was in fact a written, factual account of events. Valorous was no god, but a person, and what made Valorous truly special was the heroism that she conjured from herself. The Ways of Valor also outlined visions that gave certain chosen people, known as idols, foresight into oncoming dangers, and gave them the foresight to prevent these things from coming into being. sounds familiar.
No pressure or anything.
Later that night, Zongroff found a bevy of missed calls on her speaking stone from one Pine Silver. In these voice messages, he was clearly attacked near a shop called Tinker's Toil, an engineering supply store that had been flagged up as a potential lead. When you arrived on the scene, you found evidence of powerful magic being cast and an implication that Pine's essence was absorbed into a Vasa Magia and his body was incinerated. Ugh. You all stand ready to break into the now closed Tinker's Toil. Meanwhile, Torbrennan arrived back at Langford Manor, processing these immense revelations. In his room, he found the confused halfling, Aaron, fellow Blade of Valorous, who seemed unsure as to why they were there in the first place. That was before they recalled that Croc, their superior, wanted to speak with Torbrennan. Despite the late hour, Croc was awake and very agitated. He told Torbrennan that he was being pulled off the case, and that all of the Blades, as well as Moira Langford, their employer and candidate for the city council, agreed that would be best. Believing that he could no longer trust the motives of his employer, he wrote a letter to bedridden leader of the Blades, Elias the Forthright, stating that effective immediately, he would be leaving Langford Manor and abandoning his post with the Blades. Grappling with the weight of his decisions, Torbrennan left Langford Manor for what could be the final time. A lot happened in that episode, guys. Are you guys ready to pick up from there?
Suppose we have to, yeah.
What if we said no?
Quick rules question that will become relevant. Heavy armor, like how? What's the AC bonus on heavy armor?
Are you taking off your heavy armor?
It's not mine.
Fuck. Okay. I will look at it right now.
To be fair, I don't think the sword is either. Like, they gave me all that stuff.
Torbrennan's just going to start chucking rocks at people.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
I'm going to multi-class to a monk and just start punching.
It's 6.
Damn.
Oh dear.
Are you
What?
taking off the armor?
Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
my god.
Fuck. What is your AC gonna be? What's the number you're at right now?
20.
14.
Same as me. Same as squishy little necromancer.
Our tank just became not a tank.
We are going to open with you, Torbrennan. Tonight has been a whirlwind for you. You were forced to confront horrible visions of your past with the Blades, uncover the secrets of Valorous, and then in the very same evening, leave the Blades behind. How is Torbrennan feeling as he walks through the New Harbor nights, and where is he headed?
I don't think it's fully kicked in yet. Torbrennan is walking in the vague direction of Zongroff's apartment. Yeah, he's in a little bit of a daze, just kind of ambling through the streets.
Yeah. You trudge out of Old Harbor and into the Ivy Lanes, and before long, you find yourself at the small wooden door that connects Zongroff's first floor flat to the ground. You knock on the door, and after a few moments, you hear someone trudging down the stairs behind the door. The door unlocks, but doesn't unlatch. The door opens slowly, the latch chain still very much connected to the door, and a birdfolk who you haven't met before pokes his head around the corner.
Who's there? A watchguard lives here, so you'd better have a good reason for being here.
Good evening. I am Torbrennan. I
Are you going to rob me?
believe you live with? No.
Good, because there's a
no.
watchman upstairs, or in the other room, I mean, and they'll probably want to know about that.
Marvelous, Sergeant Growlshack. Yes. If you could.
Yes, that Wait, hold on. How do you know Growlshack?
Yes, we've been working together.
I find that very difficult to believe. She doesn't have any friends.
Well, one could say a professional relationship.
Right. So you're a cop, are you?
No, I was until.
That's a damn shame, because I was actually hoping to run into one of her colleagues. Because I have a lot of notes that I've been making about the role of policing in the city. How do you feel about that? What do you think? Do you think that there's a place for the police, or do you think that the entire institution is essentially just basically just an infringement on people's rights?
Gosh, heavy stuff. A lot going on.
Would you like some coffee, by the way?
Yes. A coffee would be lovely. Is Sergeant Growlshack in? Because I think it's quite important.
Oh no, that was a total lie. Would you like to come in?
Sure. Yes.
Splendid. Right.
Yes. Sounds great.
Yes. No. Grab a seat.
So Ark opens the door, lets you in, and you march up the stairs and find yourself sat in their small, very cramped kitchen. And Ark pours you a cup of coffee, still warm, already made. Clearly, he's been up all night reading.
So, how do you feel about the role of vigilante policing? I know that Zongroff has mentioned that once or twice recently. Would you know? What do you think of that?
Well, I think it's the role of, shall we say, independent
extrajudicial parties.
Contractors. Yes. I think can be rather a beneficial one.
Right, but what do you think if there's no accountability? If they act extrajudicially, then they could do all untold damage to as many people as they'd like, and there'd be no way to stop them.
Yes, well, this is true. Well, apart from liberal application of force by other extrajudiciary powers,
that's just violent anarchy. That's just essentially a war.
Yes, and obviously we don't.
But when you think about it, are those checks and balances even applied to the police themselves? Or are they not just another form of extrajudicial violent gang, albeit one payrolled by the state?
I guess there was certainly an interesting way of looking at it.
When you think about it, law and order is in fact an entire illusion, and the entire world could crumble today. Have you ever thought about that? I think about that.
I've certainly been giving it more thought lately.
You've really been nursing that coffee. I doubt it, brother. Join me.
Yes. Any idea when? So. Zongroff hasn't been back tonight.
Oh no, she doesn't often sleep.
Right. You wouldn't happen to have one of those the little rocks, and you talk into it, and then other people.
I do
talk out of
actually.
them?
I have it right here. Would you like me to call someone?
Yes, if you could give
We
Sergeant
could
Growlshack
order
a quick
a takeaway.
buzz and-
I'll do it right now. Would you want something? If you're after something in particular, gnomish food. Let's get some gnomish. I love a good gnomish.
Sounds good.
Splendid. I should probably phone Zongroff first, though, right?
Yes, that would be.
Yes, I'd probably do that.
We're going to flash over to the factory lanes. Zongroff, Isadora, Maerydyth, you have just made the ground-shaking discovery that Pine Silver has somehow been vanished, his body disintegrating, and he has been pulled into an orb. What is going through your minds right now?
Okay, but he's not like dead, right? Like we could still like save him maybe if we could, I don't know. If we could find the orb he's in, maybe we could, still help him. Maybe we've not completely lost hope there.
I'm going to rip apart this factory with my bare hands. I think Zongroff storms off towards the doors of the factory.
Okay. Right, no need to waste your energy trying to break in. I want to use knock to try and
Roll
get
me-
into the factory.
Roll me that charisma check. I believe it's a charisma check for you.
I believe it's a 19.
What does it look like when you cast this spell and the doors and the shutters open?
Well, let's see. So is it one of those buildings where it's got like the metal shutters?
Metal shutters down and a locked door.
Down over it. Okay, I think what I'm doing is kind of pushing forward with my hands, and then I reckon a kind of force comes out from my hands and kind of lifts the shutters up and out the way, like
up.
Yeah.
And the door unlocks. As the door opens, Zongroff, your speaking stone rings.
Okay.
Don't answer it. It might be the cops. Oh wait.
I don't know why that got me. I don't know why that one got me so much.
Right, Zongroff.
Yeah. Zongroff is. You can tell has been just kind of just shaking with rage and just like doesn't even notice the ringing until Maerydyth points it out. And yeah, I'll take the speaking stone out. Hello?
It's Torbrennan on the other end.
Zongroff? It's Torbrennan. Can you hear me?
Torbrennan, you all right?
It's working? You can...
Are you all right?
Yes, fine. I'm at your house. Just been having a lovely conversation with your roommate, and I was wondering if there was anywhere I needed to be immediately right now.
We're at...
So as to not be here.
Yeah. I can just hear Ark in the background still trying to talk about his theories.
Just chatting away.
So I think fundamentally...
Yeah, we're at Tinker's Toil, the orb factory. They got Pine Silver.
He's dead?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, I'll be there as quickly as I can. All right? Just hold on. And I hand the stone back to Ark. It's Ark, right?
Ark, that's right.
Yes, it's Ark, yes. Hello, sorry, I realized I haven't introduced myself. I'm Ark.
Torbrennan, as I said.
Torbrennan.
Thank you
Wonderful.
so much for the use of your lovely stone.
Of course.
For the good conversation, for the coffee, which I will now neck.
You're not staying for a gnomish? I love a good full gnomish.
No, we've got developments in the old case.
All right.
So, no rest for the wicked.
Well, I'll have yours then.
Yes, absolutely. A pleasure. Thank you.
Marvelous,
Perhaps we'll have dinner sometime and really get into those
yes, of course.
those topics. Good. Just a brief question. Did No.
No. Feel free. What is it? Mikas Sukasa, right?
No. It's
No.
It's
If
really
it's something
fine.
important, I want to help.
I had a question about armor, and then I remembered my size. Going to leave.
Well, there are dwarven armories around here, I'm sure.
Yes. No. I meant whether your
Whether I
roommate
I
had.
see. Right, I thought you were asking me. No.
Oh, yourself,
I'm a philosophy student, and I am a bird person. So,
Well, yes,
Unlikely.
absolutely. Well, fascinating as this has been. Good night.
yes. Oh, is it night?
And I
suppose it was dark earlier. Wasn't
is right.
Yes. Okay. Well, no. Yes. I mean, well, if you're wishing, if you're willing to come back, I've got a long conversation. I'm very willing to have with you.
Well, I have your number, and I run out the door.
Torbrennan runs down the stairs and heads towards the factory lanes. You will arrive with them shortly. For now, you've hung up the speaking stone, Zongroff. What are you doing?
I think Zongroff is standing there and staring at the stone. The rage is dissipated for a second. The fact that she's just been distracted by this phone call, and I think you see her face just blanch for a second when she kind of appreciates what Torbrennan's just asked, and staring at this open door. I think you just see Zongroff kind of just crumple against the wall for a second and put her head in her hands.
Isadora's gonna come up to Zongroff and sort of hold a hand out, not attempt to like touch or anything, just kind of show that she's willing to offer physical contact if that's what Zongroff wants, and say, a lot's just happened. Do you need a moment? Do you want to talk about anything?
I think they're all dead.
Oh.
All of my missing people. I think that they've been... Their souls have been taken, and I think that they've been burned in an anonymous back alley. I think Ironbone is dead. I think that poor Torter's wife is dead. And I think they're all dead.
Isadora's just gonna hug Zongroff.
Thank you. Isadora, you're a necromancer. Is there anything we can do?
I don't know. Part of learning about my powers is learning that sometimes death is the end, and there's nothing more you can do. And the only thing is to wait for the cycle to begin again with new life. But if there's anything I can do to help them, then I will do it.
Thank you. Torbrennan's on his way.
That's good.
Yeah.
Shall we wait till he gets here before we go in?
Yeah, I think I need a minute.
Can I get you anything? Do you need me to call anyone?
Zongroff kind of composes herself for a second and then looks at her watch. I think we've got a couple minutes before I told backup to get here. If we can get Torbrennan, I think we should have a look around, and then I think we should go.
Yeah, we really should get some rest. Because if we're tired, we're not going to be much use to the case.
Yeah.
You sit there for a couple moments, and couple more moments, about 10 minutes pass by. You hear the odd kind of creaks from inside the shop, but nothing that catches your attention. And a few moments later, you hear the speedy, close together sounds of dwarvish footsteps as they arrive. Torbrennan arrives on the scene.
Oh, okay. Oh, slightly more cardio than I've been used to recently. Oh, everything all right? Right, sorry, refocusing.
No, thanks. Thank you for coming. Pine Silver came here by himself, and I think he was attacked. I think we ought to have a look around. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll walk over to Zongroff and kind of put. You sitting still?
Yeah.
So put both hands sort of either side of your shoulders. Look, this is going to happen, and it doesn't get any easier. And there'll be time to process all of this. And I'm not going to tell you to, push it to the back of your head and stiff upper lip and all of that, because that's bollocks, frankly. But you're on the clock, Sergeant, and you have a job to do. So, up we get.
Yeah. Zongroff stands and kind of smooths out her uniform and looks at the open door. Well, I think we're looking for a woman.
Would you like to step in?
Let's do it.
Yep.
First of all, let's get everyone to roll me a perception check, please.
Yeah.
That would be 19.
Very good.
Is it dark in the shop?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to use my ex-miner background
Very nice.
to bring that to a big old mighty 8.
Well, with the, focus of a job that needs doing, I go roll to 22.
Very good.
I've got a 15.
And a 15. So you guys walk in, and on the shelves you see there are mechanical pieces, a handful of small Vasamagia, kind of ranging in sizes, small, medium, large, and on the larger end there's huge Vasamagias that are used kind of to store huge amounts of energy. You see components that are needed to create mechanisms. A lot of mechanisms are used around the city. This is a huge collection of engineering pieces, a shop for tinkerers and artificers and alchemists to come and get their supplies. Isadora, you notice that there's a curtain to a back room, a workroom. Zongroff, you notice that behind the till, there is a screen, a slab of stone, similar to your speaking stones, that is displaying the feed from the camera outside. And the view of that camera is directly on the alleyway where you believe Pine Silver to have met his final moments.
Right. Well, I'm definitely going to try and rewind that footage if that's possible.
Absolutely, it's possible. There is no check needed for this. Is everyone watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Zongroff, you reach out and begin to fiddle the dial that is next to the screen, and you reverse the flow of time on the display. You see a flash of magic, a burst of flames, and then nothing. And suddenly it stops. You see Pine Silver on his speaking stone, presumably leaving his final message to you. In the background, behind Silver, you see a gnome, a female gnome, making her way towards the shop. As she reaches the fateful alleyway, a figure steps out, tall and draped in a long, dark cloak, blocking the gnome's path. You see Pine turns, spots the gnome, and starts to move towards her, calling to her, his speaking stone still active in his hand. The figure holds out a hand, clutching a Vasamagia, and begins to conjure a spell. The gnome stands transfixed for a moment, unsure where to go or what to do. Then, in that final, fateful moment, as the spell bursts to life, you see Pine leaps into the spell's path. It hits him square in the chest, and bright red energy begins to flow out of him and is trapped inside the Vasamagia, now roiling with blood-red spell energy. Pine's body hits the ground, lifeless. You see the gnome clench their fist and slam something into the ground. In a burst of magical energy that blasts the figure back, you see the roiling red Vasamagia hits the ground and is plucked up by the gnome, who quickly makes a run for the shop, opening the door and shutting everything behind her. You see the figure stand, confused for a moment, clearly panicking under their hood. Then, another spell is cast, incinerating Pine's body before the figure turns and with a swift leap darts down the alleyway. Then you see yourself, several hours later, arrive.
That gnome woman on the phone, Pine seemed to think it was the owner of the shop. Maybe she took it back here?
Well, yes, we have just broken in. Perhaps it would be an idea to politely make ourselves known, just in case the lady in question is, hiding, terrified for her life. What else is in here? In terms of the shop, are there doors that kind of lead out to the back or anywhere looks like
there is a curtain to a back room and the shop floor itself.
I would like to go up to the curtain and politely knock on the wall next to it.
Do you say anything?
Excuse me. Apologies for the rude entry. I'm here with the City Watch, investigating the events that took place a few hours ago. There's no need to be afraid. You can come out if you're hiding.
Pip?
Yeah.
Roll me a charisma check.
Yeah. 19.
Yeah. I'm here. You're not here to kill me or anything.
No. I'm just gonna move the curtain now. There are 4 of us, and none of us mean you any harm.
Yeah.
One of us is a watch officer, and I'll just pull the curtain to the side.
You see maybe one of the smallest gnomes you've ever seen. She's wearing kind of tattered clothing, dirty from the incident, wearing an apron. She's clearly an engineer of some kind. You said that earlier she was the owner. That's not 100% true. Emma DiMartino, who stands before you, just works here.
Yeah, I don't know. I was coming in to work and I saw, I don't know, I saw some stuff that I don't know if I can explain, and I don't know. I don't know if I can help. I don't know what to do. The rather impressive recording devices you have here seem to have be able to show us an image of what took place. Yeah.
But you were right there. Did you see a face of the person in a cloak?
I don't know. I didn't recognize him. It was a wood elf. I didn't get too good of a look. I only saw them in a flash.
Male wood elf, as far as you could tell.
I didn't see much. I didn't see much. I didn't get too good of a look.
All right. And I sort of rummage around in my bag and just pull some water out and hand it to her.
Thank you. It just happened so quickly. I don't know. This person, they just were huge, in the cloak. I thought it was, I thought it was death. you know, no clear view of the face or nothing. Just started to cast that spell on me, but the other guy, the other wood elf, he came out of nowhere. He put himself in the way, and he I don't know, ended up right in here.
She pulls out a roiling red Vasamagia full of that energy.
Then I guess they got rid of the body.
It was good thinking, and a brave thing you did.
Yeah. I didn't know what else to do, you know? It's just... You know, I'd be lying if this line of work I didn't see some weird stuff, but, you know, I'm not... I try to avoid the trouble.
And when it came, you didn't freeze, and that's something to be proud of. And I'll turn to Zongroff.
Zongroff is just staring at the Vasamagia. Can I take that from you?
Yeah, I guess you're also a watch officer. I guess it's your property is more than it is mine, I suppose.
You work with these devices.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about putting people inside them?
Well, typically a Vasamagia captures spell energy and stores it. This one can still do that by the looks of things, but it looks as though it's been modified to accept, let's say, another form of energy.
And she just quickly pulls out a jeweler's loop on her side and looks closely at the...
Yeah. You can tell from the incantation inscription on the side. Normally it would just read, Interius Magia Captum. But this has a second inscription, Interius Annum Captain. I think this is Leo and Searle. They did some custom stuff, dangerous stuff.
Isadora, you recognize the same ivy pattern around the loop of the Vasamagia.
Okay. Do you know anything else about Leo and Searle that you can tell us?
Yeah,
I want everyone to roll me a charisma check. This is a group charisma check. I need a majority, so two or at least half of the group, to pass this, to convince her that you mean no harm and mean well.
Okay. Well.
I got an 8, no background.
Yeah, 8, no background
7,
from
no
me.
background.
You may add a background. You may all add a background.
So that's 11 total.
What you get?
12
Torbrennan?
with a background.
It's okay, guys. Don't worry about it. I rolled the natural one.
Christ. So sorry. What was it with all the backgrounds? With all the backgrounds, what was it?
11.
Does my
12.
orcish heritage contribute to charm? I don't know of anything.
It's not charm so much as trustworthiness. You could add your guard background to
Okay.
this.
What did I say? 8 plus 13.
It was a DC 10.
And
Yay!
we still did
Excellent.
barely
And
hit it.
you somehow still managed this. She's desperate right now. Let's be honest. You guys saw on the tape, Pine wasn't the target of that attack.
Yeah.
Pine put himself in the
Yeah.
way there. Emma somehow is wanted by these people, whoever they are.
All right. Look, I know they were working on something sketchy, sketchier than usual in this line of work. I told them to leave it, but I don't know, they wouldn't listen.
Do you think they had... Do you think they would have wanted to cause you harm?
I mean, it's with Leo and Searle.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't do something like that. No. I'm sure that they wouldn't.
But you knew they were working on something. Which potentially makes you a loose end.
Look, I know what you must think. But look, we're not all like that, Like, not all gnomes are trying to be criminals out here, all right? We're not trying that.
So, this stuff that they were working on that kind of was dodgy, was there another party involved? Do you know? Were they working on that for someone else, or was it for their own benefit? Do you know any more about any of that?
Look, they made... what I know is that I think they might have made a deal with some politician. Said
Okay.
they were gonna go and try and get a ban on tinkering with time magic lifted if they worked with them and supplied them with some hardware.
Okay.
There was a lot going on. I tried to avoid the sketchy stuff. I told Leo to do that as well.
Interesting.
I had a feeling that maybe all that hoo-ha about being so against crime and being so against the Elven Dominion and all that stuff in Moira's speech was just protesting too much and trying to cover for what she was actually doing.
Moira's a snake. I'm just putting it out there.
I agree.
Oh, get no arguments from me.
Miss DiMartino, I'm sorry, you said a politician.
Yeah.
Do you know who?
I don't know. It was pretty separate from me. I know that Leo would seem to be. I think I got through to him a little bit. Before he went. Before wherever he went, because he was getting some cold feet. But he said that when he and Searle tried to stand up for themselves, they were threatened by the people they were working for.
Have you seen Searle recently?
Yeah. Look, after all this stuff, Leo went missing. Searle went underground. And I think if you're really here to help, then I'd be willing to take you to where I think that Searle might have gone.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Can we have a nap first?
I guess that's up to you. I don't know.
I also think Zongroff, have the watch been alerted to what's happened?
I should make a phone call.
No phone call needed. Moments later, after your phone call asking about Pine Silver, the watch does arrive. A collection of guards come and begin to examine the scene and look after any witnesses.
You sure that is? I'm gonna be all right with these guys. You sure that everything's gonna be okay for me?
Look, they'll protect you. We're trying to figure out what's happening. If you can show us what you know and cooperate, I promise you'll get the full protection of the Harbor Guard.
Just don't want anything to happen to Leo and Searle. I know they were into some sketchy stuff, but, like, they weren't bad people.
Well, Leo's been missing, and I'm the officer on that case. If you help me, well, I guess I'm the best shot for figuring out what happened.
Yeah. Okay, I trust you.
Well, where's Searle?
She points to you on a map of the city and shows you an address in the Sunset Lanes that is said to be derelict and condemned, and that Searle was there.
Okay.
She also offers to take you if you'd like.
I think that's a good idea.
Later,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe not tonight.
No,
No, it's been an eventful day for all of us, I think.
Yeah, you're telling me.
I think we all need a rest.
I would recommend going with the officers, young lady.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I got much of an
think-
option at this point, huh?
I think you will be safest with them,
All right,
given the circumstances.
all right.
And a guard does offer Emma a room, not a cell, a room at Justice Hall for the night to make sure she is protected.
Yeah.
Maerydyth, would it be okay if I stayed at your place tonight?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Emily means well, but I just
Yeah.
need some company.
No, totally. Dream sisters forever. Absolutely, anytime.
Thank you. Yeah, and if we have similar dreams, we can like wake up and like make notes and do
Exactly.
journals.
Yeah, we can talk
Scrapbook.
about it. We can sort of brainstorm our ideas.
Yeah.
I've started keeping a dream diary actually because
That's a really good idea.
things have been really weird.
Oh,
so-
there's a really nice notebook shop near the university. I should really go there and get like a really fancy one. It'd be really nice.
Oh my god, yes. But also, do we have time to do that? Because I feel like death might be imminent right now. And like, while I love fancy stationery, I'm not sure I'd be quite willing to put my life on the line for it. So I've probably got like an old notebook I can lend you for now.
That's
Until you find like the one, you know,
Yeah. I can.
one that just like speaks to you.
That's very fair. That's very fair.
I assume this conversation about stationery is kind of them wandering off.
Yeah, as they walk back
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Cafe
yeah.
Pirelli together.
I was going to say, before we go, shall we say meet bright and early at Cafe Pirelli
Yeah.
tomorrow, meet over a coffee,
Yeah.
discuss where we're at with everything, work out what information we want to get from Searle, work out if there's any more information we want to get from Tarvin,
Yeah, get some sleep
and
now.
generally
And,
make a plan.
Yes. That sounds very wise, Meredith.
Right.
I am quite wise, I think. Thank
So I
you.
think we're
Thanks for
coming around to it.
noticing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Torbrennan, do you need a lift back to Langford Manor or anything?
Yes. Well, walk with me, my friend, and I shall tell you a tale.
Okay. Where's your armor?
Isadora and Maerydyth, you depart to the room above Cafe Pirelli where Maerydyth is staying. Zongroff, Torbrennan, you are also walking back to Zongroff's flat in the Ivy Lanes. If you would like to speak now, you may,
Yeah.
or we can wait.
I think now makes the most sense. So, not a, it's not a competition. Odd night for me. Got back. I left. I quit. I handed in my my badge, as you watchmen apparently like to say. Yes.
Wait, you mean you're...
Off the case. Off the case. Langford has decided that, for whatever reason, I mean, I think I can guess why, but that my efforts would have been better suited to guarding the manor and not all of this, running around and getting what I assume is rather close to finding out what she's been doing this whole time. So I wrote a little note to my superior, and yes, I quit. I abandoned my post, which is, I mean, if you can do it, but if you do, you're out. So,
Wait, you're...
Can I sleep on your sofa?
Well, hang on, Tor. I kind of walk in front of him and just stop him and look him straight in the eyes.
It's not a very big sofa, but that is fine. I'll fit.
Torbrennan, when you say you quit, you didn't just quit the case. You quit your order.
Well, yes, we're employed by the woman that we're investigating. She's the center of all this. It's seeming increasingly more likely. I won't have the authority of the man that I did serve usurped by this dishonorable politician. The Blades haven't been what they were since our losses, and I understand that, obviously it was going to have an effect, but our leader Elias, he's been ill, I suppose, for quite some time, and this kind of job, bodyguarding a politician, and this isn't what we do. So it seemed like the most sensible thing.
Right. Well, I'm sorry. I trust your judgment, Torbrennan. I have no doubt that you did the right thing. I'm just sorry. I know how much the Blades meant to you.
Well, nothing's ever really over, so we'll see what happens. I hope there's a way to clear all of this, and, when whatever has been happening comes out, I just hope we come out on top. And I suppose we'll go from there.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, you can stay on my couch for as long as you need.
Thank you. It's appreciated.
I'll tell Ark to go to bed. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was doing my own thing. I'm sorry I didn't notice.
No. He was an enthusiastic man.
Yeah.
Not altogether unpleasant, just not exactly what you want to be doing at, God, what was it? 3 a.m. after a day like today.
I don't think he sleeps. In fact, if you could help me keep an eye, because it's been kind of a project of mine to see if and when he sleeps, because I don't think he does.
I'm fully on board for this, but I make no promises tonight. I'm fairly certain I will be unconscious as soon as I am horizontal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get some rest.
Okay. You all lay your heads down, and you go to bed for the night. I just want everyone to know that Laura just texted me and said, "Is he an ugly owl guy?"
I didn't say ugly.
Oh, sorry.
I just said, is he
Is
an
he
owl,
an owl
guy?
Yeah, maybe he is.
Who?
In the sense,
Who indeed?
in the sense that he's a pigeon, but he just really likes owls.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an
got
owl
like
guy.
He's an owl guy.
A mug with an owl on it, and little figurines that he lines up on his shelves.
Yep, that's
and-
the
yeah.
one. So, as you rest for the night, you do gain that peaceful sleep that you all desperately need. You, however, towards the early hours of the morning, all at the same time as one another, are jolted into another vision.
Typical. Real sick of these.
You are again in the ruins of New Harbor. The preternatural aura of the place sending a shiver down your spine. You each find yourselves stood outside the Harbor Council building. Deafening door has a nasty gash torn out of it, and wreckage covers the area. There has been another explosion. As each of you touch down, you realize that for the first time, you can see one another in your visions. As you look around, you realize that you haven't been immediately whisked away either. You are sat in the wreckage and believe you may investigate this place.
Sweet. Okay.
Isadora, before we do anything, please can I get you to make either an intelligence or a wisdom check with a background. You may choose which.
All right. I'll go for intelligence. So that is 19 total.
We will return to that roll later. You may go.
Can I ask a question?
You may.
Looking around at my friends, how is Torbrennan dressed? Is he wearing his armor right now or not?
I don't know. Why do you ask?
Because I want to know whether this is real now Torbrennan or something that how I would remember Torbrennan. I'm trying to see if this is the real Torbrennan. I feel like that's a weird test for it.
Torbrennan is not wearing his armor.
Yeah, that was a weird question, but it was a...
Yeah, no, makes absolute sense. He is not. So, you're in the wreckage. What are you guys up to?
Oh god, this is exciting, and I don't really know what to do with myself.
Can I, I'd like to kind of tap Zongroff on the shoulder and say, do you think your magnifying glass would work in a vision?
I guess so. I don't know. Do I have my things in a... What's happening?
I think, because it is a magical item, you can have your magnifying glass.
Okay. That was both a statement for Liz and in character. I would like to just
Yes,
for the
no,
record.
of course.
Yeah, I think Zongroff really kind of confused puts her hand in her pocket where the magnifying glass would be, kind of, yeah, again, another weird test to see if this is real, and, feels it at her fingers. I guess I can. I'll take out my magnifying glass and start sweeping.
Amazing. I would like you to roll me a perception check with advantage because of your magnifying glass. I would like everyone else likewise to roll me a perception check, please. Everyone can roll this with a background.
23.
21.
23 from me as well.
Okay, 23, 21. Was that 21 as well? From
23
you?
as well.
23 as well.
Just
Okay.
a 14.
Oh, just a 14. We're going to start with you, Torbrennan. You spent a lot of time since the last incident involving a clock tower, understanding the machinations of analog time, you look up to the clock tower, still standing, but with a nasty, nasty chunk missing. And you see that the clock is frozen at noon. Or, well, I suppose it could be midnight. Noon or midnight, one or the other.
The easiest time to remember. Because both hands are pointing at the same thing.
Zach did try a different hand.
No room for error here, Pip.
We've learned the limits.
Absolutely.
How far we've come.
We can tell the time now.
We can tell the time now. No, and a good GM, always adapts to their players' strengths and weaknesses. So I appreciate you giving me a time I can't get confused about.
You very much all get the impression that this is much after whatever's happened here, but it seems to be sealed, like the clues are sealed in, right?
Okay.
Isadora, you spot that the explosion that happened here seems to be centered at a point outside of the Harbor Council building, but something impacted with deafening door, as if it was flung out. You see wood, wreckage, and you start to put it together. There was a stage here. There was some sort of stage here, erected. Maerydyth, you are looking around, desperately searching, and you see in the rubbish there is a newspaper.
Okay.
The newspaper has a headline, "A new council to be sworn in." It is dated the 1st of Oikshis, 1345, the day after tomorrow. Zongroff, you look through your magnifying glass. You rolled a 23. You see a magical energy emanating from where the stage was. And you see a magical energy around the city. It's this deep purple necromantic energy around the city. The energy in the ring of the explosion is not necromantic. It is purely a magical blast. It is not specifically necromantic. This bomb going off, while catastrophic, is not the source of what happened to the city.
Okay.
Okay. This newspaper, are there any images in it of the new council being elected? Any spoilers as to who's getting elected? Or
There are portraits of the winners on the cover.
okay.
You see that those are flickering in and out. One point it's Moira Langford, then it's Fenless Littlefoot, then it's some other politician, another politician. This is undecided.
Okay. Cool. Anything else of note in the newspaper?
Roll me another perception check.
Okay. Oh, 23 without a background.
Put a background on it for me. What is it with the background?
Oh, what background would be relevant
What have you
here?
got?
I've got Runaway, I've got From the Elven Dominion, and I've got Musician.
From the Elven Dominion would do kindly.
25.
You open the newspaper. It's burned, so there's not much. But you see the headline, "Prisoner Murdered." A prisoner being held at Justice Hall, who we have learned is a high elf, was murdered in his cell last night.
Shit.
And that is all you get.
I mean, he was a bit of a snake, but I don't want him to get murdered in his cell.
No.
I was wondering if I could look around to see if there are any shards of broken Vasabagia around the center of the explosion.
That's very interesting. Roll me another perception check, please.
I was actually going to suggest a very similar things. Can I assist? Give it advantage?
You may.
Ooh. Alrighty. Both not good. Highest one is 9 plus 4, so that is
With a background.
16. So not
16.
Too bad.
Not bad. 16 is not bad. You both kind of start to team up as you look through the wreckage. You see that there is a core where this magical energy is with your spell detecting, your magic detecting magnifying glass, Zongroff. It does appear there are shards where a Vasamagia was ripped and torn, but only the one, not multiple. Almost as if this was the power source for the bomb, much like you ripped out earlier. But these are not multiple Vasamagia with souls in them.
So if you were going to be using lots of souls to power something big, then it's bigger than this.
You each feel again that pull in your stomach, and you each have one more moment.
No. Clues.
What are you looking at in your final moment?
The necromantic energy. I would
Yes.
like to do my best.
What?
Someone's trying to make this look like it was a necromancer who did it.
Okay, cool.
Or, because this is 2 days from now, this is what Isadora's going to do.
Or there's somehow someone else fucking about with necromancy.
Yeah. Well,
Moira.
Perhaps someone related to a necromancer.
Theories.
No, I reckon it's my dad.
You have one more moment before you are pulled away. What are you looking at in that final moment?
I'm whipping around my magnifying glass at this necromantic energy and see if is there like a point where it's strongest or where it originates or anything I can.
Oh, Liz, roll me that perception check, please. And you're gonna roll it with advantage with your spell finder. Anyone else can roll me anything else if they want.
Dirty 20.
Oh, yeah.
Boy.
With the dirty 20, you see that it is emanating from the Ivy Lanes. It is not emanating from Athril, but it is emanating from the general area of the churches of the city.
Right. I think in the final moments, it's just Zongroff trying to like sprint in that direction as we all get kind of pulled back.
Yeah, wait. Sorry.
Yes.
Are all the churches in one area
Yes.
of the city?
Yes.
Oh.
They're all in the Ivy Lanes.
Oh. I didn't know this. Okay,
Yeah.
fab.
There are 7 churches to the 7 deities of Vael.
That's the reality of a polytheistic pantheon. They probably all share communion bread.
Is there any final things that you guys want to do?
I don't think I've got anything that's super useful. Me as a player, I realized from what you said to Laura about the paper, like this is all hypothetical. So who's on the council is we not knowing that is the same as not really knowing who's died.
That's true.
But I think Torbrennan being Torbrennan, I think he is going to find a spot kind of nearish where this destroyed stage was, and just start like full like disaster relief worker, like lifting rocks and like trying to dig for bodies, basically trying to find people.
I want to help with that. See what's going on there.
Torbrennan.
Also, just put you're probably there already, but just in my head, I'm also like, I was going to be assigned to guarding the house, and everyone else was going to be going with Moira Langford to this
roll
thing.
roll me the perception.
Can I roll you strength for good digging?
Yes, you may.
Thanks.
Yes, you may.
I'm gonna put my minor background on that because it's digging.
Can I assist with the digging? I don't know how that works in terms of rolling what. I just want to see him digging and help.
Shall I take advantage for that?
Yes, you may.
Wow, 2 very bad rolls. It's another 14, shockingly enough. I rolled a 2 and a 6.
14. You are pulled away, but as you're digging, in a last moment, you grab hold of something metallic and you spot the pin that holds the cloak of Aaron. And you are pulled away.
Can I, do I have time for one last thing before we?
You may do your one final last thing.
I would like to pray to Roz and see if I can commune with the necromantic energy and see if...
Bring some gods up in here. I'll fix it.
Roll me, please. Roll me, I believe your spellcasting mod is intelligence, so you're going to roll me intelligence.
So that's 20, no background.
Fuck.
Give the girl the goods.
Give her the gods.
Let me think about this. You have but a moment, but you pray and connect to Roz, and you feel for a moment that not necromantic, but death energy, the idea of decay, flow through you. You feel a deep connection with this place. And you know for a moment that something you do causes this to happen.
Oh no.
And you are pulled away.
Shit.
And in this moment, Isadora, you realize something with that 19 from when you first got here. This vision feels like all of the rest. And as you run through them for a moment, you realize one of these things is not like the other. The vision you had of the vault was not like this. It was not a vision. And you all wake up in bed.
On a sofa.
On a sofa.
Is it morning?
It is morning. Bright and early.
Just fall out of bed, try and get dressed, run downstairs, wake up Torbrennan.
I'm already awake. Yes, right, good. Oh.
Morning, everyone.
Hi, Ark.
I assume people would like coffee.
Yes, please.
You're a lifesaver. Thank you.
What a surprise.
Just at the kitchen table with the cup, just waiting constantly.
Watching Torbrennan
watching
sleep.
Torbrennan.
Just the so bright, so awake, not even tired in the slightest.
Yeah. It's like 7 a.m.
Ark, you really, really must meet a friend of ours. A young lady by the name of Maerydyth. Girl has a way with coffee. That's all I'm going to say.
Really interesting. When I just make the standard stuff, keeps me going.
Well, once we've got some business to take care of, but I think you two should talk.
Ooh, if there's
Don't feed him a Winver whip. He'll see the truth of the universe.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm not sure I'm making Winville whips anymore since the last one caused Pine Silver to get himself into so much trouble.
The last one turned Pine Silver into a goddamn hero.
I've lost a little bit of my confidence as a barista, to be quite honest, after that.
I have drunk a lot of coffee in this life. I'm sure I can handle it.
Yes, well, speaking of business and Maerydyth, should we...
And coffee.
And coffee. Oh, look at the time. Shall we go?
Yes. Thank Thank you again, Og, for, and of course yourself, Zongroff, for generously offering me a place to crash, as the kids
While
are saying.
Torbrennan is doing his usual so polite, saying thank you, I think Zongroff is just taking him by the shoulder and trying to drag him out the door.
And I'll definitely see you later.
We're not going
Thanks
to...
very much.
No, I'm looking forward to chat. Okay. Some people just aren't people.
You guys head over to Cafe Pirelli bright and early in the morning. Maerydyth, Isadora, you wake up from your vision. Is there anything you'd like to say to each other before you hop downstairs to the cafe?
Just gonna look at Isadora and be like, well, that's one for the dream journal.
I think, unfortunately, Isadora wakes up with just tears streaming down her face.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, now
Sorry.
let's get you a coffee.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
Sort of give her a little hug, but
Thank you.
we were in the same one, weren't we?
Yeah, that hasn't happened before.
I saw all of you guys in it. That wasn't just me having like a weird one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll wait until the others are here. But something really weird's going
Yeah.
on with the. Well, we knew that something weird was going on with the visions, but
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
specific.
Yeah, but something specifically. Okay, cool. No, let's meet up with the others and talk specific weirdness then.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was quite cool. Like it sucked.
Like,
but
it's
it was
quite
quite cool.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like it.
No,
But-
no.
It was interesting.
Can I get that coffee?
Yeah.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then we'll trot downstairs.
Make a coffee, you trot downstairs, you
Just wait
grab
until we
the
can
best
have like
booze.
a good dream with those like same like those that same level of
Yeah.
visual quality.
Hang out.
Like that's what
I
I
wish I could have just
Yeah.
a good cinematic dream.
The
Like a really
Oculus
nice
Rift
one.
of dreams.
This is what I'm talking about. Like so far, I'm not enjoying this VR horror game we kept getting thrown into. It's like, can you play something nice?
Hi. Morning, Lorenzo.
Oh. Hey, morning. We're not open yet. Oh, you sleep here. I forgot.
Yeah. I just thought Isadora slept over, so I thought we'd start the morning bright and early with a coffee. I've got some friends, customers joining us in a moment as well. So
Oh, customers.
It's all good.
Oh, well then, great.
Yeah.
I was about to start. I was
Sweet.
about to start asking a lot of uncomfortable questions about subletting, but if there's going to be customers here, then I guess.
Oh no! Like, we'll all pay for our coffees. It's fine.
Okay, great.
It was just a sleepover. I have a dorm. It's all good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Torbrennan and Zongroff knock at the locked door of Cafe
A
Pirelli.
full, like, two hands just wide-eyed and staring at
Let
it.
me in. No.
I hate to be the stick in the mud, but we're not licensed to sell stuff before 8 a.m. Oh, it's the law, You'd know, officer, the law.
Who made that law? That seems like a really silly law.
But she is the law. That's what I'm licensed. Oh, God, let him in. Go on.
Who can I vote for in the
Okay.
Harbour Council elections to make that not a law
No, that's
anymore?
not.
Because
No,
I hate that.
The law is. I am only licensed for certain times of the day, and I have to be licensed for certain times of the day. We have a license from 8 till 11 or midnight on New Year's.
For coffee.
Who's drinking coffee at midnight on New Year's?
Not necessarily coffee.
okay?
We serve more than. Well, a whole How long have you worked here, dude?
Let's see, what is it? It's like a month,
a
isn't
month,
it?
yeah.
We
like
serve
a month.
other stuff than your Winville whip, Maddy.
Oh, we do?
Unbelievable. Just let him in. If it's I don't know. I guess it's a
cool.
picnic. Just let him in.
Yeah.
We'll,
It's fine,
We'll
it's
tell
fine. We
we'll
can-
tell your superiors it's a picnic.
Zongroff, you can give Lorenzo a slightly different license for the day, right?
Yeah, Maerydyth, you unlock the door, let them in, and you say that.
Yeah, officer. Can you give me a different food license for the day? I suppose.
Good morning. What?
This is unbelievable. I'm gonna get arrested.
Lorenzo grumbles to himself and heads behind the bar.
I think Zongroff kind of holds up a finger and goes, should I investigate? No, bigger things right now. Yeah. Hi, everyone sleep well?
No.
No, that's, no.
No.
Yeah, let's go sit down. I think go back to that that same discreet booth that we keep going back to.
Yeah.
Even though there's no one else in here.
Let's go to that secret booth. So where do we start with all of this then? Isadora, you said you had something big to discuss.
Well,
And the suspense is killing me, to be honest.
so just as we were, I don't know really where to start, but I suppose with the most recent thing, just as we were leaving the vision, I communed with Roz, and they kind of gave me the sense that whatever horrible thing happens, something I do causes it.
Do you know what it is that you do that causes it? Can you just not do that thing?
I have no idea.
'Cause, like,
I don't know. And but also I've had a vision that I don't think any of you have had of the door to the vault.
yeah,
And-
the vault in Athril.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's not like any of the other visions we've had. And I don't know whether that means it's a fake one, or if it means that all of ours are fake and the vault one's the only real one, or if it's something completely different.
So we didn't really go in the vault.
No,
Or we did go in the vault, but
I just mean the vision that I got, it might have been given to me by someone else.
Yes.
Isadora,
interesting.
just quickly, you, as you're discussing this, remember the research you did earlier this week into visions. And you established the veracity of your visions because each of you having the same vision would be nigh impossible without the magic, without greater magic of the gods, you know? You don't think a single person could do joint visions to all of you so far apart. Rest of them didn't have that vault vision.
Okay. Yeah, so, I think with my research, I think the horrible visions where I've done something bad are real, and the vault vision was different, and someone gave it to me.
Okay.
There's
Any idea who might want to give you a vault vision? I'm trying to rack my brains right now, but I don't
So-
really know.
Doesn't seem like something an enemy would have done.
Yeah, it helped us, didn't it?
Zongroff just takes out the ways of valor, which is I think in an evidence bag we established.
Yeah,
Put it in an evidence bag.
Look, I was reading up on the city, and I think there's something hidden here. I don't know what it is, but I can think of one thing that, well, was in a very judgmental mirror vault that was very difficult to get. And we now have it. Maybe somebody was trying to lead you to this.
Maybe.
But why?
I mean, you read it, Torbrennan. I don't.
Yes, and it,
What did it say?
really altered my perspective on things. Yes, I suppose we haven't had this conversation, have we? In a nutshell, a lot of things that I suppose I already knew, or I suppose stories that I suppose I already knew. I mean, mostly that Valorous, wasn't a god of any kind. She was just a person. No special, godlike powers or anything like that. She was just brave, and good and wise, and whilst confusing, because I always assumed that I could do the things that I can do. I've healed one or two of you in a pinch, I think. I always assumed that power came from Valorous, that was who I said my prayers to at night, and whose, name I would either whisper or shout upon charging into battle. But yes, I always assumed that's where that power came from. But it can't be, because she was a person. So there's that. There's also a precedent within the book of people being selected by the gods, various ones, and being given visions. Now, stop me if any of this sounds familiar. Of events to come, not necessarily being given, but, as I've said, powers to change things, but simply the knowledge that of how things might turn out, in order to steer things, back in a good direction. Call these people idols.
Yeah, I came across that term in a book I was reading about the theological arguments around visions. Do you think that we're idols?
I mean, as far as the 2 books it seems that we've read about it would say, there's quite a few parallels there. And you say that this kind of vision magic would be nigh on impossible to do to 4 different people at the same time. So, yes, I think we might be.
All right.
And also, I also look at Zongroff. I also don't think it necessarily matters. There's danger, and we have an opportunity to attempt to avert it. So I think that's what we should do. And all of the god business, that can come later. We can dig into that when the city isn't threatening to explode.
Zongroff is definitely making a face of kind of existential confusion and gentle disgust. Yeah.
Trust me, sister, right there with you. I was religious yesterday, and now not entirely sure.
Yeah.
My faith is being seriously challenged a lot recently. I'm hanging on to it by threads, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so what you're saying is that the Ways of Valor has got information about visions. It's got, information that's pertinent to your order, but maybe not the big secret.
There's a lot of stories in there, accounts of the idols, a lot of tales that felt very much like, parables in their more disjointed form when I read them previously. But as a whole, it seems they're more, or many of them at least, historical accounts of, things that actually happened. Yes, it does seem more pertinent to my order, and that's a whole other thing. Just so you're aware, Maerydyth, Isadora, I left the Blades. Maura Langford took me off the case.
Snake.
She deserves a tidal wave of blood for that. Just saying.
Yeah.
And yes, I thought it best to leave before. Well, I thought it best to leave. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So, visions of destruction, an opportunity to change the outcome. These are visions that come from the gods. There's more or less proof of that. And that's what's happening to us. So that's what's happening to us.
Yeah.
And you've had a
Great,
vision.
love that. No pressure.
You've had a vision that hasn't been shared by the rest of us, which could mean that it was less a vision and perhaps more of a message from someone
Maybe.
that steered us towards this book, your magnifying glass, the book of Elven Secret Service stuff, and I forget, Isadora, what was
That fetching necklace.
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, the necklace means that I have a spell, which I've mentioned in the past, where I can take energy from someone and give it to someone else to heal them. And in the past, I couldn't control whether I took it from an ally or an enemy. But now it only goes from an enemy. So if we're in battle and I need to heal someone, you guys are all good.
So this person's a friend. This is someone who's trying to help us.
Yeah, and I also got that prophecy book as well. I don't want to like monopolize the conversation in any way, but I think there's some useful things in there.
No, it's cards on the table time, I think. If last night's wonderful pay-per-view is anything to be acted upon, we have, what, two days today, and then it's
Oh, yeah.
midday tomorrow. Oh, midday, by the way. Don't know if the rest of you spotted that. Or midnight, but it'd seem odd to have a council meeting at midnight.
True.
So midday on sort of two days from now.
So it'll be tomorrow now, won't it? 'Cause
Yes,
it was
we've got-
last night that we saw it. Is that right?
Yeah, it is 2 days from now. So it will. You have today, tomorrow, and the swearing-in ceremony is the day after that.
Is the afternoon of
Okay,
yeah, right.
fabulous. I'm just thinking about Isadora and that vision. And I mean, in terms of allies in the city who might be able to send you visions, is there anyone we've kind of got in mind there? I mean, obviously, you've got
Professor Eurogos.
Madame Trowell and Urog
Yeah.
kind of pointed you in the direction of.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, they've both been very helpful. But Professor Eurog's specialty is herbology. She's not really into the whole vision thing, and
She told you about the vault. She just told you, didn't she?
yeah,
She
yeah,
brought
just
us down
straight
there.
up
There were a
told me
lot
about
of
it.
stairs.
Yeah.
And sorry to like keep bringing up your mum, but like 'cause obviously it's a weird thing. But I don't know. Could she be trying to point you in a direction, trying to help at all? Like, could she potentially be looking out for you, or is that not her vibe? Or do you not know? Is this like?
In one of the visions that we had, that was more similar to the ones that we've all had together. She was trying to strangle me.
Oh, okay,
So
cool. So
unless she
maybe
was
not.
very helpfully like trying to get something out of my throat.
So I hate to say, not really an ally.
Yeah. And in terms of the other vision stuff that I learned about from the Book of Prophecies, it seems that everything in the world is connected with this magical essence called the twine. And when you tap into the twine, that's when you can get visions of the future. And the book has a ritual that we can perform to connect with the twine and find out more about the visions that we've been having. But if we go too far, if we stretch ourselves too far and try to see stuff that we're not meant to see, there are these non-sentient projections of the gods called angels, which will try and kill us.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a viable kind of route to take things down.
Yeah. I
think we're seeing quite a lot anyway, so I mean, I doubt there's too much we can do to like anger these angels.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
So with the Vasamagia, I have enough energy to take all of us for this this kind of connection ritual. I need some more nightcap mushrooms. I have a few, but Professor Yorog should be able to help us with that. And I need an arcane focus, but I don't quite know what that should be. I don't know if we might have one already or if we need to go and find one.
Zongroff is making that face again, like her brain is melting from.
What is an arcane focus? Asking as Laura and as Maerydyth.
Arcane focus is something that focuses magical energies.
Sounds like you might want to go to a church. Speaking of churches, yeah, in the vision last night, there was a bunch of necromantic energy around, and it seemed to originate from the church district of the Ivy Lanes. Just putting that one out there. I don't know. There's a lot.
Was there anything else from your research about the city in general that might be helpful?
The people who founded this place did so after the war with the Undying King. Again, the suggestion was that they were protecting something that would be in Old Harbor. I'm still...
The young lady from last night said something about Leo and Sael.
Working with a politician.
Now, yes, yes, working with a politician.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who that could be.
Moira.
I mean, gonna be egg on our faces, Meredith, if we're wrong.
I mean, either way, she's dodgy.
Well, yes, that's true. That is true. But it's something else about time magic.
Yeah,
And you mentioned making a deal so that they could do some time magic, or
to lift the ban so they could experiment with it.
So they could experiment with time
It
magic.
might just be reckless scientists,
And the explosion that we saw the aftermath of last night.
Yeah.
That
What kind of
that
magic
have the feel
was that?
of
that was, the explosion, I think that was just raw magical energy.
so not a bunch of
No, it does. If you were trapping souls in an Vasamagia, I don't know what flavor magic that would have if you used them.
I know my understanding is limited, but whatever it was, I bet you'd be able to tell.
And I'm wondering if the kind of necromantic energy in the city, if that has anything to do with the Undying War and something being left behind from that. And I'm wondering if they were guarding this may be completely wrong, but maybe they were guarding something so that people wouldn't be hurt by it rather than guarding something so that they could protect it. That's a complete guess.
Keeping something in.
Yeah.
Keeping something away from people who might want to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a classic storyline.
Also,
Oh yeah. What did you see in the Facegrith book and the code?
okay, so first of all, I'm a little bit worried about Tarvin anyway, because in last night's vision, I did see a headline that an elf was murdered in his cell. So thinking that could be him. And obviously, although we hate his guts, I don't think a murder would be ideal. Also, yeah, been reading the Facegrith book and decoding Tarvin's notes, and it's juicy. So first of all, I was reading it and I was thinking, stupid fool, why is he making notes of like all these crimes that he's committing? Like, why would you do that? Why would you just go around keeping like a diary of all your crimes like an idiot, like you want to get caught? But then I was thinking, well, maybe he's making these notes so that like he can pass them on to somebody else. Maybe he's getting intel on someone for somebody else. Felicity's name came up. So he's been taking orders from Felicity. It was her that gave the orders to switch around the birth and death certificates in the Harbour Council. But he's been writing all of this in the Facegrith cipher, in the Facegrith code, which makes me think that he's gathering intel on Felicity for the Facegrith. So that makes me think she's in some way a perceived threat to the Elven Dominion, because that's apparently what they do. They kind of try and neutralize threats before they become threats. So
Birth certificate, you say?
yeah. Is Moira Langford a fake identity? Is Felicity Moira? Has she just like given herself a whole new like vibe? But also why? I don't know her. I don't know her life. I don't know.
Zach, can I take out my speaking stone and text Penny? And
Yeah, 100%.
just give her the tip off to check the birth certificates as well for I think it's Felicity Taylor, and then I will just look at Maerydyth and just write Moira Langford as well and send that to her.
You get a text message back that says, "Will do," and then a couple moments later get a text back saying, "We've got a birth certificate for Felicity Taylor." It gives you the date, seems to line up with the stories that Isadora's told thus far. Was born in the city. There is a birth certificate there for Moira Langford, but can't tell one way or the other whether or not something's been done to this birth certificate.
Another birth-death certificate combo I'm intrigued by is Moira Langford's missing relative. Because are they real, or is she just faking this to garner sympathy? Did they even exist in the first place?
They're quite a high profile, they're quite a high profile family. I know whether Wendell Langford was a thing off the top of my head.
Off the top of your head, would you like to roll me intelligence as a local?
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, so good.
You may add a background.
I'm gonna add my New Harbor citizen background, so that's a 23.
You know that the Langford family was a very esteemed family about 30 or 40 years ago, maybe even 50. They kind of fell out of favor for a little while. Members of the family died. Wendell, for a while, was along with his granddaughter, Moira, were the final surviving members of the Langford family.
I mean, he's real.
Okay.
I would say that he was the first of the disappearances on my list. Just about 3 months ago now.
Disappeared on... It was the first disappearance, actually. Wendell was the first disappearance on the 9th of Elation, and then a little less than a week later, the next disappearance was Magdalena Lightfoot.
Was Wendell's disappearance before Moira Langford started her campaign for...
It was after.
Okay.
Yeah, he disappeared after she started.
After
She
she started
formally
running.
started the campaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
He, aside from Moira, he was the last of the Langfords, as far as I know.
Okay.
Torbrennan, I don't suppose you know what Ms. Langford is up to at the moment?
Well, I didn't have very much to do with her. from the start. I mean, I'm guessing that, yes, the blades will be, or at least most of them, will be out guarding her as she does her rounds, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What with the election and everything. I can tell you exactly where she was going to be.
I mean, out of the house might be good enough.
Yeah, she's got something hidden away in the manor. Might be good to...
All right. Well, leads.
Yes.
We've got, following up on the tip from our young gnome from last night, in the sunset lanes.
Sunset Lanes,
Yeah.
that's right, the
Is that right?
residential area.
All right. We've got. What else have we got? Help me out here, guys.
We've got the connection ritual.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Keen.
We need to decipher more of that notebook from Tavern.
See if we can get a bit more info out of Tavin now that we've got some dirt on him that he doesn't want us to leak.
When was he killed in the paper?
Tomorrow night.
Might be worth putting some extra guards on him, or
Yeah.
I mean, I know, I understand you can't very much go to your superior Zongroff and say, I've had a vision, someone's going to try to kill Tarvin, but
I'll make sure that he's protected.
all right. We've got weird necromancy coming out of the Ivy Lanes, but no more leads than that. And then we've got having a little break-in at Langford Manor, which
Little beanie.
another one, which, you know, I'm keen for. I don't mind telling you, but it does feel a little final, if that makes sense to any of you.
Yeah.
If we are caught,
Yeah.
if that's hand played, we are,
Yeah.
Maybe we could get a warrant or something, Zongroff,
For what? For Langford Manor?
for searching Langford Manor, if we have reason to believe that she's involved. Or maybe that would be causing too much fuss.
I'm going to be honest. Objectively, yeah, I don't have anything I can show to a court that would make
Yeah.
us suspect her. We just have had enough people tell us that she seems suspicious. Then that's kind of where we're at right now.
Your
That's
your
fair.
commander did seem rather, over a barrel with the Langford family.
Yeah, I seem pretty. I should check in. Actually, in fact, we might have some, spare armor at the station, Torbrennan.
Right.
If you want,
Yes.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not. I
No, no,
I thought, if you just in case. But I mean, I'm not trying to force. I know it's a big change. It's the
I
offers
hadn't
there.
made my own arrangement. Thank you. Yes, I'm not exactly flush with cash, so perhaps that's an opportunity. Would your is the watch going to be happy with you loaning out armor to a
We
civilian?
may have to take some of the badges off, but sure we can find something to at least protect the important bits.
I think they'd be happy to be doing some good in the community.
My dad was a
I think it's
tailor.
a
I
good
have
thing.
some seamstress skills.
Well, does this is just a hypothetical question out of game. Does the Harbour Guard have any kind of history of like deputizing?
Yes.
Neat, because I don't have a job.
We'll put that on the to-do list.
Each of you look out the window and see people beginning to mill about in the city. Signs light up and promoters come out. Today is election day. We are going to get the vote out and see who wins. Next time on Realms of Peril and Glory. Bye, guys.
Help us.
Full night's sleep. Full night's sleep. Full night's sleep.
And I'm the clock again.
So, guys, where can everyone find you? Liz, why don't you kick us off?
You can find me on social media at LizXCampbell. Hey, if you want to check out some work I do, I help out with the podcast Wooden Overcoats, which is a sitcom about rival funeral directors.
Amazing. Pip, what about you?
Just riding on Liz's delightful coattails. I am also in Wooden Overcoats, and will be coming up in The Orphans at some stage as well, as presented by the wonderful Zach and James. And that's me.
James, what have you got?
So you can find me on Twitter at BarbarossaPhone, and you can also, check out The Orphans, which is my other podcast. That just search The Orphans for any podcast searching place of your choice.
Laura, what you got?
You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter with the handle @ByLauraGirling. And on Etsy if you feel inclined to buy pin badges and drawings of, whatever I'm drawing at the time. And that is bylauragirling.etsy.com.
Great. And Maddy.
You can find me on Twitter at Maddy_abstract, and there's a whole bunch of links to the stuff that I do there, including stuff for Rusty Quill and my older fantasy audio drama, The Prickwillow Papers.
Amazing. You can follow me personally at ZACKFG on Twitter or on Instagram. You can follow Realms of Peril and Glory on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram as well at RealmsPod. You can head on over to the link in the podcast description for some really cool merch. We're going to be continually launching new bits of merch as we go. And of course, the best place to support Realms of Peril and Glory is to head over to the Light and Tragic Patreon. That's patreon.com/Light and Tragic to get bonus shows, production updates, and our Patreon exclusive game, The Witch is Dead, that'll be coming out this October. Great. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Bye-bye.